Welcome to Darren Daily On Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. Here's your success mentor, Darren Hardy.
Welcome back to this very special series titled Success Exposed, the 10 X Factors superachievers use to multiply their results and dominate their markets. In the first episode, we heard private excerpts from Iron Man Elon Musk, Man in Black, Bad Boy, and I Am Legend Will Smith, along with Gary Vee discussing the X Factor number one, which is having relentless drive to work your face off with a ridiculous, sickening work ethic, be tenacious, and to work like hell. The next X Factor is to supersize your thinking. Write this down in your notes. The size of your life will be determined by the size of the problems you solve. Here's how it works out. This is the math formula that you want to solve for to get the success that you desire. You ready? Okay. So we all have 24/7, 365. You know that time is the great equalizer. You have just as much time as Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, or Jeff Bezos. That part is a fixed part of our math equation. Here's where the X factor is, where the multiplication comes in. You take that 24/7, 365 that you have, and then you multiply it times the size of the problem that you solve. And that equals the life, the results, the lifestyle that you get to enjoy. It's that simple. So it is time, which is fixed, times the size of the problem you solve equals the reward. Use your time to solve a little problem and you will get a little reward. Use the same time to solve a big problem and you will get a big reward. It's as simple as that. See, you can sell houses one at a time and struggle out a living. Or you can oversee the sales of thousands of government-owned HUD properties in 18 states, like one of my good friends, and make hundreds of millions. It's essentially the same business. They are both selling real estate. They both require the same real estate license. They're both doing it in the same 24/7, 365, but one is solving a bigger problem with the same time and thus reaping a much bigger reward, result, lifestyle, and legacy. You could build an electric car in your garage, like my brother-in-law did. Or you could build Tesla, like Elon Musk did. Same objective, only one person supersized their thinking. You could start an online e-commerce company. Or you could start Amazon, like Jeff Bezos did. They both started out exactly the same, in a garage. They had the same 24/7, 365 to work with, only one thought bigger. You could start a local coffee shop and run it day to day, getting all stressed out about which employees show up, if somebody spills coffee on their crotch, leaving the drive-thru or what have you, and you could barely make a living. Or you could start Starbucks, like Howard Schultz did. Same business, only one had supersized thinking. Hey, look, this is exactly what I'm driving at. Howard Schultz, the builder of Starbucks, he started out just like you, likely worse off than you. Howard grew up poor. He and his family lived in a government-subsidized housing project in the Bronx, and they ate off of food stamps. Howard had no unique advantages, but one, the only one that mattered. He had the ability to dream big. Let me have him tell you about it.
I feel so strongly that the reason I'm here is I dream big dreams. I dream the kind of dreams that other people said would not be possible. I'm also living proof. This isn't a Hollywood movie. I come literally from the other side of the tracks. If you saw where I grew up and we took a picture of it, the neighborhood, the setting, you'd say it's impossible that someone could come from there and get here. But it is possible.
Hey, listen to me here. I know that you have big dreams too. And I know your current results, no matter how great they are only a fraction of what you are truly capable of. So I ask you, and I ask you to ask yourself, what's stopping you? Is it fear? Are you nervous? Don't sweat it. Every great superstar that you've ever admired has also started out scared. Let me pull a clip from a discussion that I had with Joel Osteen in his home in Houston, Texas. Let's listen.
First time we did Yankee Stadium, that was the biggest crowd I'd ever spoken in. And, it was like another giant you have to slay. I think the more you do any of it, the easier it becomes. And so now I found, when I'm prepared gets to a point where I feel confident in doing it. You jump into other areas that you have to overcome as well, just the daily challenges of life and things that come against you. But I think it's a continual thing that you got to keep growing. And if you're not putting something out there that makes you a little nervous or gives you a little bit of pause, then maybe you're not stretching your faith enough or you're not taking enough risks. So I like to always be finding what's the next big thing that we can, our business, and well, like yours, it's in helping people, inspiring them. How can we break some new barriers? So I think that's the key is to keep pushing forward.
Now, you might say, well, Darren, what if I fail? Well, let me have one of the greatest failures the world has ever known give you some advice on that. He is now known as the richest man on the planet, founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. But at the time of capturing this audio, Jeff wasn't far removed from being jobless and barely had what his Wall Street boss called, quote, a little startup that was, quote, destined to fail and ruin his reputation, still in his garage. This is how Jeff would advise you about failure.
I've made billions of dollars of failures at Amazon.com. Literally billions of dollars of failures. You might remember Pets.com or Cosmo, or you may remember something called auctions. That didn't work out very well. Then we launched something called Z Shops, which morphed out of that. And then from Z Shops, which didn't work, we launched Marketplace, which became our third-party seller business, which now represents more than 40% of units sold on Amazon. One of my jobs as the leader of Amazon is to encourage people to be bold. And people love to focus on things that aren't yet working. It's incredibly hard to get people to take bold bets. And you need to encourage that. And if you're going to take bold bets, they're going to be experiments. And if they're experiments, you don't know ahead of time whether they're going to work. Experiments are by their very nature prone to failure. But a few big successes compensate for dozens and dozens of things that didn't work.
So by acting boldly, you will fail. Can you deal with that? You only have to remember that successes will more than pay for all the failures if you keep going and you keep experimenting. As Winston Churchill says, success is all about going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Because on the other side is massive success. And to send you off with the right attitude, I'll share a clip from an interview that I had with one of my personal mentors, the man who sold more personal development materials than anyone ever, more than $2 billion worth, Paul J. Meyer. Here is what he considered his greatest success asset.
And then I have an I will not be denied attitude. I mean, that's an incredible thing to have. I don't look to my weakness, I look to my strength. I don't look to my problems, I look to my power. It's all about attitude. I enter everything I get involved in, no matter what it is, without giving mental recognition of the possibility of defeat. I have a no limitations belief in my Creator, and no limitations belief in myself, and no limitations belief in other people, and no limitations belief in what we can do together. Every day is that way for me.
And that is my wish for you as I send you off into your day. To dream big dreams, to act boldly, and to have a no limitations belief in yourself and what you can do. Write some notes down in your Darren Daily Journal on where you are going to supersize your thinking. And hey, if you are enjoying this series and if you think that this could be of help and benefits to other people, then I ask that you share this with as many people as you can. I don't charge you for a subscription here. I personally fund and produce this whole thing for you for free. But there is a fee, and that fee is you paying it forward. You helping me help more people with this Better Everyday movement. So please make your tithing by sharing this episode and series with others, and I thank you in advance. We really appreciate you being part of this special community.